All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a really complex prophecy, one that ties together ancient Egypt, incredible modern-day visions, and potentially the future of all of humanity. It's a story that weaves together the stars in the sky, knowledge that's been hidden for millennia, and what might just be a countdown to a massive global shift. So, this right here, this is the heart of it all. This is the prophecy given to a man named Chris Bledsoe, apparently from a mysterious being he calls the Lady. And it points to a very specific time, right around Easter of 2026, when an event in the heavens, centered on the Sphinx, is supposed to unlock something truly profound for every single one of us. But here's where it gets tricky, right? On the surface, this prophecy has a major flaw, a big astronomical problem. But as we're about to see, a tiny correction, maybe just a single word that was misheard during this incredible experience, might be the exact key we need to unlock its true and incredibly specific meaning. Okay, so let's get into the weeds here. The prophecy specifically says the red star Regulus. Now here's the problem. If you're an astronomer, or even just a backyard stargazer, you know something's off. Regulus is one of the brightest stars we can see, and it is famously, brilliantly blue-white. It's not red at all, so what in the world is going on? But what if it wasn't a mistake, but a misinterpretation? A proposed solution suggests just changing one single word. Not red star Regulus, but red star and Regulus. Now that might seem small, but that tiny change doesn't just fix the astronomy problem. It blows the whole thing wide open and points to a very specific date and a sequence of events that is deeply significant. So mark your calendars for March 20th, 2026. It's the spring equinox. And on that day, something absolutely incredible is set to happen. About 2 hours before the sun comes up, the blue star Regulus will be hanging in the sky. Then, as dawn breaks, our own sun, which, let's be honest, looks like a giant red star on the horizon, will rise directly in the Sphinx's line of sight. A perfect celestial alignment. And this sequence, you guys, a blue star, then a red star. This is not random. This is a huge deal because it lines up perfectly with the ancient Hopi prophecy of the blue star Kachina. The Hopi have said for generations that the blue star will appear, signaling a time of great awakening, and that it will be followed by a red star, which kicks off a period of intense purification and, ultimately, rebirth for the world. The parallels are just undeniable. It's such a beautiful piece of symbolism, isn't it? You've got Regulus, which is literally known as the heart of the lion, in the constellation Leo, the celestial lion. And on this exact date, it will align with the gaze of the Sphinx, the earthly lion. It's that classic mystical principle, as above, so below. The heavens and the earth mirroring each other perfectly. Okay, so we've got the celestial key, right? The alignment, the stars, the whole deal. But what's the lock? What is this new knowledge the prophecy is talking about? What could be so important that it requires this kind of cosmic announcement? And where does it even come from? I mean, think about it. You don't get a cosmic announcement of this magnitude for just any old piece of information. This has to be something that changes, well, everything. And that's where the legendary psychic Edgar Cayce comes into the picture. He talked about a secret library, a hidden archive containing the lost secrets of a very advanced, ancient civilization. And this isn't some new idea that just popped up. This has been a slow burn, building for almost a century. Look at this timeline. It all starts way back in the 1930s with Edgar Cayce's visions. Then, in the 70s, you have legitimate scientific groups finding strange, unexplained empty spaces under the Giza Plateau. Fast forward to our time, Chris Bledsoe gets his prophecy. It's all pointing to 2026 as this ignition point for something tied to a much bigger cycle, one that other researchers think might culminate around 2046. So what is this Hall of Records? According to Cayce, it's basically the ultimate time capsule. He said it was built by survivors of the Great Flood. You know, the one that supposedly wiped out the highly advanced civilization of Atlantis. They allegedly stored their entire history there to keep it safe for a future generation that would finally be ready for it. And what's supposedly inside? I mean, the list is just mind-blowing. We're talking about the true origin of human souls, the complete history of Atlantis, and details about their incredible crystal technology, this firestone, that they eventually misused so badly that it literally destroyed their civilization. But crucially, it's also said to contain the secrets of how some of them managed to survive. So the obvious question, right? If this incredible library of knowledge exists and it's so important, why haven't we found it? Why can't we just, grab a shovel and go dig it up? Well, the answer is maybe even more profound than the knowledge itself. The reason it's hidden, according to the prophecies, isn't because of a stone door or a secret password. The theory is that it's protected by a conscious lock. The idea is that the knowledge itself is sealed away until we, as a species, grow up, until our collective consciousness reaches a point of maturity where we can be trusted with this information and not use it to repeat the same self-destructive mistakes that destroyed Atlantis. And boom, that brings us right back full circle to the Hopi prophecy. Remember what it said? Survival isn't about having the best technology or the biggest bunkers. The Hopi tradition says the people who make it through the Great Purification are the ones who have done the internal work, the ones who have found that spiritual light inside themselves. Okay, so this is where it all comes together. This is the final, and honestly, the most urgent piece of the puzzle, the timing. Why now? What's the rush? Why might this knowledge be set to be revealed in our lifetime? And what's so wild is that it's not just one person saying this. You have all these different researchers who are not working together using totally different techniques, from remote viewing to analyzing historical cycles, and they are all pointing to a period of massive global upheaval, a kind of planetary reset that seems to culminate right around the year 2046. So let's just do the math here. If this incredible knowledge from the past is revealed in 2026, and this big cyclical reset event is slated for 2046, that gives us exactly 20 years. A 20-year window. A 2-decade countdown for humanity to absorb this information, to grow up consciously, and to prepare for a truly fundamental shift. So, when you put it all together, the ancient prophecies, the modern visions, the data pointing to a future date, it leaves us with one massive question. Is this event in 2026 the moment we're handed an instruction manual for our survival, a roadmap for humanity's next chapter? Or is it the final echoing warning from a civilization that failed its test, a warning from a past that we can no longer afford to ignore?